Hello, everybody. This is Bozo Vinny recording this. So it's after the NBA Finals, and as a sports fan, after the Stanley Cup, the Super Bowl, the NBA Finals, every fan base likes to convince themselves that they're going to have a chance to be in those finals or in that final game the next year. If you're a Lakers fan, you probably think, well, we get AD and LeBron healthy, re-sign Reeves, get a lot more players re-signed, and we'll be back. If you're a Warriors fan, you could think, well, as long as the main three come back, Steph, Clay, Draymond, you always have a chance. If you're one of these teams with a lot of young players, like the Kings or like OKC, you probably think to yourself, we got a lot of young players, a lot of picks, development. Uh, they could become something. But as a Mavericks fan, I'm underwhelmed. And I just can't convince myself that this team's going to go anywhere. The Mavericks have so many problems that Mavs fans either don't want to admit or are too defensive to talk about. We have no assets other than a low pick, in the next draft, which probably won't be anybody. And even if you trade it, what are you going to get for it? Because now that with the new CBA, a lot more good players are probably going to be traded around. So it looks like that pick's not going to be as valuable as it once was because you're going to have proven guys getting swapped more uh, commonly. You have no picks other than that. You gave them all up for in the Kyrie trade. You have no young players that can just be good now. Your defense is shot. Your best player is great, but who knows if he can get his conditioning right, and he can't, even if he gets down to a certain level with his conditioning, he's never going to be the defensive player people think he's going to. When they say defense is all effort, at the end of the day, Doncic has an athleticism deficit. And even if he becomes great in his conditioning, he's never going to be an elite level uh, defensive player on the perimeter enough to offset what his team needs offensively and defensively that he's not getting out of his teammates. The only way this team can become championship level is if Josh Green overnight becomes a guy who can be your third best player on a championship team, sometimes second best player. Hardy can become a guard that can come off the bench or start at any moment and give you instant offense, be okay defensively. You can get a big man who can actually rebound, box out, but also being okay defensively, while also not being able to be taken advantage of, taken out of the game like Gobert. So he has to be some kind of threat offensively, run the pick and roll with Luka, and also not be $100 million to buy because we don't have that much money. So we need wings that can dribble and shoot and pass. One of the most that can play defense as well. One of the most hardest things to find in the NBA. We need a big that's not irrelevant offensively. You need your superstars to not only bring in 25 to 30 points of offense each a night, but you're also playing in a hard ass conference and you have young players who you don't know what they are yet, and you have no future assets, so you can't leverage that for other young players or experienced vets, and you're pretty much just stuck on a carousel of hoping Luka and Kyrie can get through the slog fest that is the West. Trade the pick. Draft the pick. What player in this next draft as a rookie are you going to come and expect to be great right now? Because that's what we need. We need someone to be great right now. Or even if you trade, who are you trading that pick for of any relevance? I've heard people say trade the pick. Trade the pick for what? A package of the pick, Bertans, and what does that get you? In a post new CBA NBA where better players are going to be more readily available because of the cap. Excuse me, not the cap, but the way the league's working, where you're going to have less money to go around for players, and you can't give certain contracts to certain guys because the CBA and the NBA are trying to make it sure that there's more parity in a sense that each team doesn't have a super team, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to get into the politics of it. You know it by now. There are people way smarter than me that can explain it. So if you're a Mavs fan like I am, tell me where the hope comes. Where's the hopium? Does Josh Green become a 15 to 16 point per game scorer with great defense that can handle the ball overnight? I mean, he only started 20 games this year. So now you're going to tell him that he needs to be the third best player in a championship games in about 2 months? Hardy, you need to be able to be a guard now. I mean, it's just unrealistic. And there's also the dark cloud of Kyrie leaving, and then you're really fucked. Then you're just fucked because now your second best player is Tim Hardaway fucking Jr. It's just not good. I don't see how it works out. I hope I'm wrong. I hope, and I'm not trying to hate because people with their sports teams. You're a hater. You're a hater. You're a hater. I'm not hating. I just don't see a way that we can get out of this rut that we're in with not much. I mean, if Luka takes a pay cut, which is a lot to ask for him, because you're already asking him to, and this is a guy who averages 30, 9 and 9, and you're asking him to now take a pay cut. Listen, I know that's what real winners do, but it's a lot to ask for a modern player to take a pay cut so you can get some random center that probably won't work out because the Mavs front office isn't very good. I mean, if I'm taking a pay cut, I mean, the guys in the Heat took pay cuts, but those guys took pay cuts to play with LeBron, Bosh, and Wade. Luka, they're asking him to take a pay cut to play with fucking Chris Hayes or whoever they get. Take a pay cut so we can re-sign Dwight Powell. Like, I don't know, man. Let me know down in the comment section below. Do you think the Mavs are going to be in contention for a championship next year? Do you think they won't be? I hope they will, but I can't see it. Drop a comment down below, like and subscribe. This is just a little talk I wanted to make. Have a blessed day.